Yes, hello, today it's Sir PP here to give you the tip. As you can see, this is my name in the game, it's Sir PP. So if you ever find me in PvP or co-op, send me a GG or whatever, or send me a hi, that sort of thing. Although you might struggle to send me a friend request just because I'm maxed out. So you can send it, and whenever I open up a space, I'll take you in, I'll be your pappy. Anyways, with that being said, without further ado, let's actually talk about how to be good at hyperdimensional co-op. And this is going to be for all hyperdimensional co-ops. So with that being said, I will not be teaching you guys in this video particularly what you need to do to farm the most amount of hoi poi coins, since that is not specific to co-op in general. All right, so let's get started. So as you can see, we have extreme, advanced, intermediate, beginner. Generally speaking, I always recommend, if you want to get the most rewards out of all of this, your 3 dailies should be extreme. However, if you're new to this game, or if you're not very good at these modes, this video is here to help you get better. All right, so first things first, we want to look at the enemy character, dark type, which means that the advantage is element. The only light type character in this game is Shallot, and the only version of Shallot I want to ever see in co-op is Super Saiyan God Shallot, with specifically the purple future Vegeta's blue card. Any other, and you're wasting people's time. Okay? Now, with that being said, there's no point using Shallot, especially for quite a while now. There hasn't been a point because they've been adding so many battle bonus character tags recently, except for last season, that it's just not been really necessary. Now, it's very important that we actually talk about the battle bonus character tags because they play a vital role, actually, in your damage multipliers. So let's actually take a look at the details. So as you can see, there's a ton of numbers, but what you really need to know is there are these are pure buffs, right? If it says inflicted damage up, it's a pure buff, unless it says base. If it says base health up, it just means that it's really upping the base by 50%, and that's it. But if it says inflicted damage up, that's a pure buff. That's going to be a multiplier in this situation. So then you can take a look. For this video, I'm going to be using my 14-star MUI that I got free to play because I saved up a ton of CC before Annie started, way before Annie started. So I had my eye on the prize, even though it was only speculation at the time. But it paid off. All right, so as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different units that you can pick from. If you don't have any of these units, which that shouldn't be actually possible since everyone should have access to this unit. Actually, in fact, if you're playing this game currently, you have access to this unit under the assumption that you're watching this as this has come out or just recently within the weeks of this season. Okay? Now, with that being said, I'm going to be, like I said, MUI Goku, which isn't the best stats, but it's not the worst considering he is 14 stars. All right. Now let's actually take a look at the ability bonus and everything else. All right, so we got an ability bonus of basically over 1,000. If you look at my support members, it's a little bit different than how I would normally show it. But what you really need to know is when you're doing this, when you go to auto select, it will give you options: auto select character, auto select equipment, and auto select support members. You're going to want to uncheck auto select character, and you're going to want to uncheck auto select equipment. So what this does basically is that if you are going to click edit, it's only going to affect the support members right here. Okay? If you do anything else, it will also affect the battle member as well as the equips. Next thing, I want you to make sure that you're focusing on ability bonus. Not power level bonus, but ability bonus. Your ability bonus is actually going to be attached to your multiplier to the RR, whereas the power level bonus is actually only going to really be attached to some base damage as well as who gains aggro more. That is it. So you want to be very, very careful about that. Doing power level bonus while neglecting ability bonus is going to be a big major problem. All right. And then, like I said, you're going to want to pick your equips. As you can see, I have my equip set. You're going to want to mainly pick equips that do damage. Defensive equips really don't matter. The only exception to this is if they are specifically health regenerative type unit. So, for example, if I were to pick, let's say, Goku Vegeta Duo. So if I go and find them just real quick, they have a kit that synergizes really well with this equip. So the health restoration would actually be a completely valid thing for specifically Goku Vegeta. However, since we are not playing Goku Vegeta, then in that case, this equip that you just saw right here is only really here for the damage for our MUI Goku and not really much else. Without further ado, let's actually get into the game so you guys can see what it's like. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's just go over one last time for the ability bonus and for the power level bonus. Your ability bonus is attached to the RR damage multiplier. Your power level bonus is only for some base damage, as well as who is gaining aggro. So whoever's a power level bonus is bigger when we start the match, or when you see it between the two of us, whoever's on screen with me, that is who is going to get targeted by Kid Buu first. Or whichever boss unit is, you know, for that season. So let's take a look, see who it is that we're going to be pairing up with, and we are going to then play. Another thing that we're going to have to go over is what are links, and everything else. Okay, so we got another MUI Goku. Yeah, that's totally fine. So as you can see, my power level bonus is greater than theirs, so I will be the first one getting aggroed, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. So there you go. So we're going to get into this, and then we're going to make sure to do a dual RR when the shield is broken. So one big tip, never break the shield using an RR unless it's near the end of the game. If it's at the beginning, so as you can see, I was originally the target, but my opponent did something, thus changing the target. But if you saw, I was the initial target. If you go back on the video, you'll see that I was the one aggroed. Now, if I want to take aggro from my teammate, all I have to do is this, and that will change things. Unless they attack too many times Kid Buu, then in that case, it will switch back. So why would you do that? It's when you want to help your teammate from getting aggroed completely. Okay? So what you just saw right here is exactly what not to do. The shield is up, and my teammate has clicked their RR. This is what we call someone that doesn't understand the concept of co-op. It's either that or they slip their finger. So I don't really know, but the point being is that this is exactly the opposite of what you should do. You should never, ever click the RR when the shield is up like that, especially at the beginning of the game. That is just a waste of time and is going to force us to play multiple rounds of this guy's shield to actually win. And that could actually cost us the game, funny enough, which is why you never do that. So now, for me, I'm going to make sure to keep my RR ready for the next time, under the assumption they don't just RR the shield again. But you never know. Okay. So now we're just going to do this. They're going to heal up, that's fine. It's going to deal some damage. And then they're going to do their green card. And then finally, it's going to break back and that'll be it. Now, if they click their RR again, we know for a fact... Alright, here we go. They got hit and you saw me click. So what was that? That meant that I increased our link, but also I was able to put my teammate out of harm's way. This is super, super important. You want to do this because not only does it help your damage multiplier over time, but it also makes sure that both of you can stay alive and support each other when you are low on health. Or just to keep the game going and not to lose your link bonus, which is super important not to lose. Just gonna be quite frank with you guys. Alright, so now we're gonna just break them, or at least hope that we break them. Okay, so there we go. So I think that my teammate just accidentally clicked the RR more so than anything else. Yeah, I think that was it. So I'm gonna click green. They might not click green, but we're just gonna do that. And as you can see, since we are using me as the damage multiplier, it's going to be my blue card that's going to be dealing the majority of the damage. Now, obviously, you can't really see that because they didn't pick the same card, but as you can see, it's 31 million. That is quite a bit for something as insignificant as a dual RR with imperfect. So we're going to play one more just so you guys get another idea. But there you go. So my teammate clearly just misclicked, and that was why that all happened, but it's okay. They redeemed themselves in this video, so good job to you, Kakarot. We're gonna go back to lobby and we're gonna do one more. So what I want you to do, guys, since this is going to be one of those more informal videos, even though it's supposed to be a guide, I want you guys to really just go over and watch what I do a lot of the time and listen to what I say, because I know a lot of viewers, they like things being made super, super simple and super, super easy to follow. But let me just make it quite clear. I am not one of those people. I'm a very sloppy person, so I'm just going to reiterate a lot of the things that I say, and hopefully this guide is helpful. Hopefully this helps you guys with getting better at this mode, because I know a lot of people are upset at new players or even some older players for not understanding how to play this mode at all. And that can be quite irritating and quite, well, it makes people not want to play this mode in some capacity. It makes it a chore. Alright, so as you can see, we're doing links. So another thing about links that I guess I should mention. Oh, okay, so I got hit. And see, my teammate just saved me. And that is exactly what we want to see, because that increases our link by like 20%. It adds an extra 20, which is insane. And we love that. Also, if you're able to attack at each individual times, the link will increase faster than if you attack simultaneously. Okay, perfect. Was that, so it's 78 that we get our link, and now we're going to have a 78 link when we do our RR. It would have been more ideal if we had 100, but since we can't always get what we want, we're just going to do it as we can. Now, I'm going to hope that they RR first, but that might not be the case. Oh, it is. So I will do my RR second. So the next thing, since I RR second, I will get the card in the middle, they'll get the cards on the side. So sometimes it's best to set up your hand so it reflects what you need. Now, of course, most players pick yellow in these events, but I don't like to do that, because yellow is usually something that the AI picks up quite a bit. Nope, I don't want you to hurt my teammate. Please and thank you. So I like to pick green because it's usually a safer color than whatchamacallit, yellow. Okay. Now, I don't think we can kill this guy in the one break, so we're gonna have to, I'm gonna use my ult to help break his shield when the shield goes back up. So another thing is, I guess a side note, please do not LF the co-op boss unless it's absolutely necessary. So as you can see, I just saved. And this is just so that way I can, you know, keep my teammate more than alive. Handy dandy alive. And next, we're gonna get our ult in. I'm gonna use the ult to break the shield, not to waste people's time. Alright, so here we go. So let's go over this. Your link helps your damage multiplier. The higher your link, the higher the damage multiplier to your R, along with your ability bonus. The person that RR second is the one whose damage multiplier is being applied. Let's see what else. We want to make sure to understand the feature of the taunt. So taunting in order to, you know, make your teammate safe in case that there is a need for it. And make sure to click on their icon after they've gotten hit so that way you can save them from potential death. And finally, I'm going to RR right here, even though we don't really need to dual RR, just because we want to end this before the next break occurs. And bam. And see, this is why I don't pick yellow. Because they tend to pick yellow a lot. The AI, I mean. And there you have it. That's pretty much all there is to a co-op guide. You really don't need to know much else. This mode isn't really that complicated. The real big issue is that a lot of people don't know or don't want to learn. And then also, let me be quite frank, it's not just that, it's also that the DBL co-op tutorial is so outdated that it hurts. So that's another thing to keep in mind. The tutorial that you get when you unlock after you do your intermediate missions, it's so bad. They teach you to RR the shield, they teach you to do a lot of things that are no longer relevant to the mode, and in fact have essentially almost never been relevant to the mode for the longest time, which is why I find it funny that they haven't done an update, which also definitely contributes to why a lot of players don't really understand how to play this mode. But with that being said, that was the tip by Sir PP. Have yourselves a fantastic day and make sure to play with your balls.